There's currently a cyclone passing over the north coast of Australia, and we're copying all of the backdraft from it down here. It's currently freezing cold and raining in February. When they said winter was coming, I didn't think it would be this soon. What's up guys, I am SheNoob and welcome to my review of RWBY Volume 3 Chapter 9 PvP. I feel like they couldn't think of anything else to name this episode. This chapter was pretty short, so that means this review is probably going to be pretty short. Sorry about that in advance. But after seeing what's transpired here, I feel like we're going to have plenty to talk about for Chapter 10. Also, at you guys' request, I will now be doing reactions to Chapters 10, 11 and 12. Because I feel like they're going to be good episodes. But for now, let's start with this one. As soon as the chapter begins, you can just feel the tension in the air. It is tangible. I was on the edge of my seat like this going, what's going to happen? Penny greets Pyrrha as cheerful as ever, and my stomach is in a knot because I can just see what's going to happen. Mercury and RWBY are having some sort of Mexican standoff, in that she's hurling questions at him and he's not saying a word. Why on earth would he give away their plans now, RWBY? She pretty much has this all figured out anyway. Then the fight between Penny and Pyrrha begins, and Mercury moves on RWBY. She tries to use her speed to attack him, but he's way too good for that. And then he destroys her scroll so she can't call for help. The competition between Penny and Pyrrha is fierce. If anyone would be a good match for Pyrrha, it's Penny. And as they're fighting, we see Emerald start to mess with Pyrrha's head. I guess the idea being to whittle her down mentally and make her confused and make desperate moves. RWBY then manages to escape Mercury. She seems to have learned how to use her semblance a bit better when in combat, or generally sticky situations. In the fight we see Penny knocking Pyrrha's shield and weapon out of her hands. And then we see Pyrrha reach out and pull her weapon towards her, like a Jedi using the Force. I thought Pyrrha didn't like to broadcast her power, and now thousands of people have seen her use it. Although granted, what else was she supposed to do? As Penny is preparing to attack, Emerald uses her illusion ability again to mess with Pyrrha's head. She makes her think that there's hundreds of swords about to pulverize her, and it forces her to use her semblance in a wave sort of form, which sends all of Penny's swords flying and the wires wrap around her, severing her into pieces. I had almost no reaction to this because I knew it was going to happen, but of course it still hurt. And everyone's talking now about how they might bring Penny back or reconstruct her in some way. But I don't think that's going to happen, not in the foreseeable future at least. For the meantime, Penny's gone, and poor Pyrrha is absolutely traumatized. She is going through a lot at the moment. We see Ozpin's surprise at the fact that Penny was a robot, and he genuinely had no idea. Ironwood must have been keeping this very secret. We also see a scene of an older man sitting in a chair watching all of this happen, and his hand kind of grips the arm of the chair. I'm under the impression that this man is Penny's father, the man who created her. I'm not sure who else it could possibly be. He kind of reminds me of Geppetto, actually. I can't believe I just made that connection right this second. It totally is Geppetto. I feel silly. RWBY makes her way out of the maintenance hallway and sees what's happened to her dear friend. When she started crying, I just wanted to reach through the screen and give her a hug. RWBY didn't care that Penny wasn't a real person. She was her friend as much as any of her other friends. And then Mercury pops out with a smirky look on his face. The hell are you smirking at? You're gonna get yours. And then Cinder seizes control of the broadcast. She starts trawling on about how all of this was deliberate and nobody should trust those in power. Everything that she's saying here, she's basically trying to shake the people's faith in those who protect them. She also mentions here that she hails from Mistral, which is something we didn't previously know about her. All the fear, the uncertainty that these people are feeling right now. The Grimm are sensing it, and now they're here. When you think about it, it's the perfect trap, really. Choosing a time when all of the people from one kingdom plus students from other kingdoms are gathered together in one space, and then making them witness things that force them to feel such negative emotions, to draw the Grimm near. It's the perfect plan. Why is it that whenever people are told to go to the exits in a calm and orderly manner, everybody panics? I know there's a level 9 Grimm threat on the way, but running around and shoving each other is not going to get anyone anywhere. Glinda and Crow run up to Ozpin's office and he tells them to get down to the city now. You can see that Ozpin's already thinking way ahead, and I think I know what it is he's planning. Ozpin then calls Ironwood and tells him,
"You brought your army to my kingdom, James. Use it."
The problem with that is, his army is desperately trying to organize themselves. That the enemy is once again one step ahead. And Neo has already hijacked a ship, and she releases Roman Torchwick. Hello, Roman. I love the way she's just stood there twirling his hat on his cane. I can't be the only one that's excited that Roman's back. As much as I hate the prick, he's hilarious, and he's a good villain, and I've missed him. He's kind of like Joffrey Baratheon. You hate the prick and you want him to die, but when he's gone, you kind of miss him. Because then you get saddled with much worse people like Ramsay Bolton. Spoilers. Then some ships pull up to the docks of Beacon Academy, and who pops out of them but Adam and the White Fang. And not only them, but also the Grimm. The White Fang are releasing Grimm directly into Beacon Academy. Not good. What I'm thinking at the end of this episode is, I think the same thing as what Ozpin is thinking. That they're gonna have to do some fast cramming of the rest of Amber's power into Pyrrha before it's too late. My guess is his next move will be for Pyrrha, but I don't think Pyrrha's thinking much about anything right now. Also, Adam is at Beacon, so I hope that this means that we're gonna get to see some sort of Adam versus Blake showdown. Finally! Maybe not in the next chapter, but hopefully before the end of the volume, please. That's really all there was to talk about. I'm sorry this was so short, but like I said, I'm sure there's going to be plenty to talk about for chapter 10. Why don't you guys tell me in the comments what you think Cinder's endgame is? Because it's volume 3, this isn't her endgame. It may be her endgame for Vale, but it's not her endgame overall. What does she want? We already know that she wants the rest of Amber's power. That's obvious. She wants to be the Fall Maiden. But to what end? What does she want to do with that power once she has it? It can't just be a matter of she thinks she's entitled to it. She needs it for something. I want you guys to tell me what you think that something might be. And this was my review of RWBY Volume 3 Chapter 9. I hope you enjoyed as always. Please don't forget to like the video. Check out my other videos below me now if you're interested in seeing more of my content. Check out my social media links to my right here. And click that big red subscribe button up there. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you for Chapter 10. Actually, I'll see you in my reaction of Chapter 10 before the review. Either way, Chapter 10. Bye! Alright, let's try and get everything in one take today. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Hey, what's up guys? I am SheNoob and welcome to my blah blah blah. She pretty much has all the, I guess the idea being to, and then we see Pyrrha, hundreds of swords about to, plus the hunters and huntresses in training, that they're gonna do. So I hope that this means we're gonna see. Malachi, stop.